CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?
Howdy doody. Hello. Alright people, what is happening is another chappity tale. Another chap tale, and this one again is influenced by the skiing holiday I went on with a couple of my pals. Yeah, alright, so this one is about the beginning of the holiday. So anyway, right, me and Ty went skiing with school, been skiing outside school, do you know what I mean? Loved it and all that, and we just decided we are going skiing. So obviously in your head you're thinking, oh yeah, we'll get about 10 of us and we'll go and we'll have a right nutty time and all that. Like, but we went round to everyone, just no one could pull the money together or whatever, and funnily our pal Frank said, yeah, I'm up for it, mate. Yeah, let's do it. I'll come skiing. You two can sort of show me what to do and that. And yeah, let's have it. So we said, sweet, nice one. So we went down to the old Thompsons probably on Holloway Road, and booked a skiing trip for the three of us. And yeah, nice. So we're sort of paying it off. Everyone's paying it off. Frank's paying it off. Whatever. Got to a point where we was probably like a month from going or whatever, and everyone had paid it all off. It was all sitting there nicely ready for us. So when we first booked it, Frank did say to me, "I haven't got a passport." I said, "Well, like it's good 7-8 months away, like you'll be able to pop down to old Petit France and get yourself a passport." Yeah, and he's like, yeah, of course I will. Yeah, definitely, I'll do that. So about a week to go, and it just came into my head that he'd said that to me, and I was like, Frank, did you sort out your passport? And he was like, oh no, I've forgotten to do it. Well, I was like, all right, don't worry. I said, don't worry, like you can usually do this like day thing at Petit France or whatever, and like even if we had to go down there a couple of days in the week or whatever trying to get one, we'd get one. So I was like, yeah, I'll come down here with you and all that. Like, well, anyway, on this day I call him, whatever, and then he tells me that he doesn't have a British passport. He's got a Nigerian passport, and basically for him to go anywhere he needs a visa. And I was like, Frank, what are you talking about, man? Why didn't we try and get the visa like 7-8 months ago when we booked this holiday? What are you gonna do? Like, you've paid for it, it's all ready to rock and roll, mate. And he was like, well, we're going in 3 days or whatever. There's no way. I'll probably struggle to go and get a Petit France airport or whatever if I was a British citizen, you know what I mean, let alone a Nigerian citizen. I ain't gonna be able to do none of that. And I was just like, I can't believe it, Frank. I just can't believe you ain't told us earlier. And then I was like, all right. So I was thinking to myself, how can we sort of get Frank like some of his money back or whatever? So we contacted the holiday company. They was like, nah, it's too late to cancel a spot now and all that. Like, yeah, everything's booked. The plane's booked. It's all booked. You are going. But he ain't going because he ain't got a passport. So basically, we just started to ask people if they would pay Franklin the money for the holiday and then change the name into their name, and they come instead of Frank. But everyone that we asked was like, oh, I can't afford it, mate. Can't afford it, this, that, can't afford it. Anyway, it got to like the day, 2 days or whatever before we was leaving. And I said, Frank, like, it ain't happening, mate. Like, no one's got the money this short notice or whatever. So Franklin like said, all right, sweet. He took it on the chin, you know what I mean? He said, look, it's my fault, do you know what I mean? I should have sorted it out. He said, phone round a couple of people and tell them that if they want to go, they don't need to pay me for the holiday. They can have the holiday for free. All they've got to pay for is to do the name change. So we was like, you sure? And he's like, well, it's either that or you two go with a spare seat on the plane. I was like, all right. So we asked a couple of people and they still couldn't get the time off work or whatever, but it was a bit too last minute, whatever. So we was like, right, this is nuts. We can't even give away a holiday, you know what I mean? And then bumped into Asbo, I can't remember where or whatever, but I would have been seeing him at weekends and stuff anyway. And then we sort of mentioned it to Adam. And he was like, oh, do you know what? He goes, yeah. He goes, I've got a passport, you know, and that. And he's like, how much is the name change? And it was only 40 quid, do you know what I mean? Like, but not only that, like, Adam would need some, like, gear, do you know what I mean? Some skiing stuff or whatever. So, yeah, basically, Adam said, yeah, sweet, I'll come. If do you know what I mean? I'll come. And then I sort of said to him, well, do you know what? I think I've got some bits of skiing gear that you can, like, have or whatever. So we went to my house and, like, put my gear to one side. Do you know what I mean? That's my stuff. Don't touch that. And then we got out. I had another ski suit. I had goggles. I had gloves. And then Taib had, like, ski socks and a load of other gear. And do you know what I mean? We managed to put Adam together a parcel of joy. And then he was like, sweet. And then Frank was all happy with him doing a name change. So we phoned up old Thompson and done the name change and all that. And Adam just had a bag full of skiing gear and he was ready to rock and roll. He was like, all right, sweet. Couldn't wait. It was going to be great. So anyway, the night comes. We're all around my ass because we're about to phone the old Sherbet to take us to Gatwick or wherever we was flying from. And then, like, cab comes, nice, go downstairs, stick all our gear in the car, jump in the motor, and then boom, that's it. We're driving out of Ingester. So anyway, we get to where Ingestry Road meets Burley Road, and I think the cabbie was going left towards Southern Park. I ain't got a clue. I can't remember why. That was obviously the direction we needed to be going in. And then Adam's sort of like, oh, stop. So the cabbie stopped and we're all looking at Adam. What's the matter? And he's like, do you know what? I was like, what? He goes, I've forgotten my socks. And I looked at Taib and I was like, you forgot your socks? And he's like, yeah, can we quickly just pop to my house? I was like, well, all right, sweet. So we got the cabbie to quickly do a right. Went down to Highgate Road, chucked a right, went up to Liz in the Gardens, chucked a left, pulled over, boom. Adam's like, give me 10 minutes, lads. I swear to God, I'll just be 10 minutes. All right, sweet. So we're sitting in the cab and while Adam's gone, I'm saying to Taib, what's the matter? How can he forget his socks? Like, do you know what I mean? And all that. And Taib's like, yeah, it's a bit funny, isn't it? But anyway, he's gone to his bags and he's put some stuff in his bags and he did actually have a pair of socks with him, which was a bit weird. So we're all back in the car, but cabbie's gone to the airport, got out, went, checked in, all that, got all that stuff, had a couple of beers in some bar or whatever at the airport, got on our flight, flew to Italy, landed, boom, get off, go to the carousel, grab our gear. We are making our way to the exit to go outside to find our transfer coach. And then Taib sort of said to me, John, I was like, what? So I think there's like old Bill following us. And I was like, oh, Bill, what are you talking about? So I've looked back, and I'm not joking, right? Maybe he was Italian police, but he looked like a soldier. He looked like a proper, like, soldier, and he had a massive Alsatian with him, yeah? And I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, all right, bear left. So I bared left, and boom, he's changed directions. So yes, he's coming for us. And I was like, oh my God. And we're fairly close to the door, but I was thinking, if we just all start running, it's going to look mental, innit? We ain't actually done anything wrong. So I was like, so in the end, we're getting close to the exit, and the policeman stroke soldier, whatever he was, he sort of said, I can't remember how he spoke, you know what I mean? He said Italian or whatever, but basically what he meant was, lads, stop. So we stopped, and he came over to us, and he's like, yeah. Well, basically we're standing there, and the dog's, you can see the dog like on alert, and he's like, you can tell he's having a sniff or whatever, and then boom, he's gone over to Adam's bag and whatever, and then this guy's gone to Adam, you follow me, let's go. But obviously it sounded more Italian than that. But so anyway, Adam's gone off with this soldier and the dog, and left me and Ty standing there, like, but it was like, where we was, it was just masses of people trying to get out of the airport. So I was like, Ty, just come outside and we'll, you know what I mean, we'll wait for Adam out there. And we're like shouting out, like, as Adam's walking off, Dad, we'll wait outside for you, mate. All right, nice one, sweet. So anyway, we've gone outside, turned right, and then we've gone over to this area where we weren't in the way of anyone or whatever. So we're standing there with our bags, like. So anyway, a good 20-25 minutes has passed, and there's no sign of Adam. So we're looking at each other, and like, we know that the transfer coach has probably left already without us. So we're standing there, and Type's looking at me, and then he's like, right, he goes, watch my bag, please. I was like, why? Well, what's up? And then Type just bowled off, like, and where we came out, it was an exit only, and it was like some mechanical door that slid open, and then when there weren't no people, it shut again, you know what I mean? So Type's standing there, and he's waiting for this door to slide open. Anyway, the door slides open, and he just does a run for it straight in, like barges through whoever's coming out the door, like, and he's like, boom, 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 boom. And then, I'm not joking, but all alarms start going off. It was just like, oh my God, what is going on? So I'm standing outside. I've got two massive suitcases, and I'm just like standing there. Ty's flown back inside, and then the door's shut again, like, and then, so I'm standing there, and I'm like, I'm there for at least another 20 minutes again, like, just like nothing, like, and I'm thinking, God, what is going on? And then all of a sudden the doors slide open, and boom, out walks Adam and Tyeb. And they walked over to me, and Adam's looking at me. I was like, Ad, what's going on? And he just looked at me and he went, they never got it all, don't worry. I was like, they never got what? What are you talking about? So anyway, like, so Tyeb's piped up, and he's talking, and he's saying, oh yeah, basically went in and then got chased by a few people and then went to the room where they took Adam, looked through this like window or whatever, and then he said the whole room was just full of people or whatever, and then 15 minutes later they let Adam out or whatever, and I was like, well, what happened, Ad? And he's like, well, they searched me, didn't they, and went through everything, but don't worry, he kept saying it, don't worry, they never got it all. And I was like, I was thinking, I don't even want to know, do you know what I mean? Like, and then Tybe was like, yeah, I think they went light on him because he weren't the only one. And I was like, what? And then Adam went, yeah, the flight that landed just after us or whatever from Manchester, a whole rugby team got pulled in as well, a whole rugby team. I was like, what, a rugby team? He's like, yeah. And I was like, what? I just didn't even want to know. I was just like, look, let's go, right, and try and find this coach that's meant to take us to the resort. And he's probably gone though, and we're probably going to have to fork out for a cab now. So we go outside, and we're looking around the car park, and then boom, there's one coach left in the car park, and we're thinking it can't be the one for us, like, but let's check it. So we go over to this coach, like, and then there's like a holiday rep from Thompson standing outside the coach, And then they're like, are you the Chapman party? And I was like, yeah, we are. And then they was like, you're very lucky. We was just about to leave. And I was like, oh, nice one. Like, because they'd been waiting a good 50 minutes for us or whatever. So we climb onto the coach, and I'm not joking, right? Every single person on that coach is giving us the daggers of eyes. I'm telling you, they're all staring at us like, and then Adam's looking at everyone, and then all of a sudden Adam's just like, what are you fucking looking at? Don't look at me. What are you looking at? And then everyone's just like, all looking out the windows. So we make our way to the only seats left available, sit down, and then we drive to the resort. And then more and more stuff starts happening, which will be told in other stories. But I'll tell you what, that was like, it was funny, it was scary, it was mental, it was crazy, it was, I can't even, just don't. That was a mental holiday, and if you was there, you'd have loved it. All right, nice one. Thanks for listening once again. Please subscribe, like, smash bells, comment, and all of that great stuff, because yeah, and check out all the other CHAP tales, man. There's like over 100 now, and they're good stuff. Nice one. Speak soon, yeah.
CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?